A rumor is spreading across Europe of a great pestilence, causing widespread illness and death in the Middle East and Asia in the early 1340s. In October 1347, 12 ships sailing from the Black Sea, carrying cargo and people, arrived at the Sicilian port of Messina. The people of Messina are horrified by how ill most of the sailors on board are from some kind of disease. Authorities order the ships to leave their port, but it is already too late as black rats have escaped the ships and made it to dry land where they are able to spread the bubonic plague. Fleas that bite infected rats then carry the disease to unsuspecting humans who get ill once bitten. This terrible disease affected people of all ages, races and genders throughout Europe with symptoms that included painful swellings, buboes, under the arms, on the neck and in the groin that turned black, bleeding from cuts and scratches, high temperatures and fever, chills and shaking, being sick with aches and pains, and ultimately, death. This disease is fast-acting and able to spread quickly from person to person, just by touching the clothing of an infected person, or an object they have touched. The lucky ones only suffered for 1 or 2 days before dying, but some people hung on for 5 or 6 days in absolute agony. Whilst we cannot be sure, it is estimated as many as half of the British population died as a result of this disease, which became known as the Black Death. Many people were already weakened from a prevailing famine, brought about by poor summer weather leading to poor harvests, and, with little knowledge of germs and how the disease is spread, they did not know how to fight it. Some people thought this was an act of God, that they were being punished for their sins and way of life. Others thought it was a curse or evil spirit, and others still thought they were being poisoned. Herbs and flowers were carried in the hopes it would help prevent this disease being caught. Sweet-smelling wood was burnt in homes while people prayed to God in the hopes they would not get ill. The finger of blame started to be pointed to different groups of people, with the poor being targeted until the king and nobility realized they were not exempt from this terrible plague either. Religious groups were also targeted, with Jewish people, friars, foreigners, pilgrims, lepers and Romani also being blamed. The persecution of lepers became so intense that people with various skin diseases were killed across Europe. In February 1349, around 2,000 Jewish people were killed in the Strasbourg massacre, and a few months later in August 1349, the Jewish communities of Mainz and Cologne, Germany, were completely wiped out due to conspiracy theories about the Black Death. Before the plague had struck England, the poor were forced to work on their lord's land, but due to the decimation of the population, the survivors were able to ask for better wages and living conditions. As there were so few peasants available to work, the lords really needed them and agreed to these conditions. Survivors were also able to better their lot by buying or renting spare land that became available when other villagers died. This dreadful disease helped speed up the breakdown of the feudal system and give more freedom to peasants. Download the timeline of the Black Death and learn how long it was around for and see how quickly it was able to spread.